Hey, first of all, thanks for watching. I'm going to try to keep this as simple as possible, but I'm going to go ahead and start from the beginning. So, in order to look at the Vestavia Hills transparency portal, you need to open up a browser. You can either go through the website and go through their online tools, or you can just type it in, which is Vestavia Hills AL dot opengov.com, and it'll take you right to sort of, I guess, the opening screen or the default setting. If you look over here on the left side, you'll see it has a list of filters or views. I just always choose the filters because it lets you manipulate the data so that you can better see what's going on. So one of the one that you may want to start with is if you just look at revenues versus expenses. It's kind of an unusual chart, is this default chart, because it actually, for some reason, stacks the two up together, which is somewhat misleading. Is that this is not revenues exceeding expenses by this much. It's kind of silly. So you have to maybe go over here to this top right-hand section, where you can decide what kind of graph you want to look at. So the line graph is probably best for this one. And right off the bat, you'll notice that revenues and expenses, especially in 2014, 2015, are going different directions and arguably the wrong direction. What I've noticed is this very large jump in revenue. So what I did is I went through these functions in revenues and expenses, and you can see different panels will open up as you click these. What that will allow you to do is to include or exclude which fund it's in, which department it's in, which what the function is, etc. What I've discovered is transfers is kind of an unusual item. Really what that is it's just moving money from one account, one internal account, to the other. So even though it shows up as an expense or it shows up as revenue, it's a bit misleading because it is money moving from one account to the next, and it should have a zero sum. But because that zero sum does not occur within a single year, it may actually cause issues like that. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and deselected this transfer, and what it does is it actually gives us a much clearer picture of what's going on with our city's finances. So when we see 2013, 2014, we actually see our revenues exceed, we see our expenses exceed our revenues by 739,000. It's significant, but maybe not that big of a deal when you look at the bigger picture. And then when we see this here, we see that our revenue and expenses, we actually are running a deficit for the second year in a row, and this time it's to the tune of $14 million. So I've done a little bit more research, and what I've done is initially gone ahead and focused on just the expense side, so it'll give us an idea of where our money's going.